and welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Lorena. So as you can see, I am in the car and I'm gonna do a little come shopping with me in Bath. And yes, I'm super excited, and yeah, I have a day off, so this afternoon I'm going to Bath. My husband is driving and he just became British. So yeah, congratulations. So yeah, I've got a few shops on my list, but in particular I want to go to Mr. B's Emporium, and yeah, I'm just going to bring you along, and then I'm going to show you all the books that I get in the end, because I'm going to buy lots and lots and lots of books. Super excited. Hello, it is a few days later after my come book shopping with me. I hope the footage turned out great. I haven't looked at it yet because I had to do some on my phone, because it's just awkward, isn't it? When you're on your own at a shop and there's people around, you have like a camera, it's just, I felt a little bit awkward at times. So some of it's on my phone. Mr. B's, I got some good footage on the camera. The others are a bit hit or miss without footage. I didn't get anything in Persephone's books, just because like, yeah, it was just really awkward. I was like the only person actually shopping at the time, and then like all the staff were like there at their desks and stuff, and it was just it was a little bit awkward for me to like just whip out my camera. So yeah, I didn't get any footage from there. Got a little bit from Toppings and a little bit from Waterstones. So I actually picked up a book in each of them. I was going to quickly run through those books that I got, and yeah, let me know if you've read any of these. Did you like it? Yeah, so the first one, which I got at Mr. B's, and I loved Mr. B's. I loved the fact that there was like a bathtub in the middle of the shop. I just loved the layout. It was just like cute and cozy, and it's such a great little shop. And yeah, I love supporting independent bookshops. So yes, the first one I got is by Eleanor Ferrante, and it's The Lying Life of Adults. So this was the one that came out the other year. I just finished the Neapolitan Quartet at the end of July, and I just love that series. It's so good. So I wanted to actually pick up another book by her, and like this obviously is her newest one. I will go through her backlist at some point, but yeah. So yes, I do like the cover. It's actually out in paperback now. I prefer paperbacks over hardbacks, so yes, it's really good. So this one, I mean, I just picked up because it's Ellen Ferrante. I didn't even know the full concept of it. So 2 years before leaving home, my father said to my mother that I was very ugly. Wow, that is a bold, big, can you see that? Yeah, that is like bold, like in your face, okay? So Giovanna's pretty face has changed. It's turning into the face of an ugly, spiteful adolescent. But is she seeing things as they really are? Where must she look to find her true reflection and a life she can claim as her own? Giovanna's search leads her to two kindred cities that fear and detest one another. The Naples of the heights, which assumes a mask of refinement, and the Naples of the depths, a place of excess and vulgarity. Why can't I speak today? Adrift, she facilitates between those two cities, falling into one then climbing back into another, but neither seems to offer her any answers. This powerful new novel set in a divided Naples by best-selling author Ella Ferrante is a singular portrayal of the transition from childhood to adolescence to adulthood. I'm sorry, I really stumbled over those words. So yes, I love, it's in Naples again, which, you know, she wrote it Naples so beautifully in those other books. I like the idea that it's like between the two Naples and the two sides, whereas yeah, you don't get too much of that during the Neapolitan Quartet, so that'd be a really nice addition. And yeah, as a standalone, and I love her writing. If you haven't picked up anything, I can only recommend the Neapolitan Quartet at the moment, but honestly her writing is beautiful. And when I bought it, the bookseller was like, oh, have you read any of our books before? And like I said, and she's like, oh yeah, they're so good, aren't they? So, you know, booksellers recommend them as well, guys, so go ahead, read some of our books. After I went to Mr. B's, I went to Persephone's Books. So it used to be based in London and now they've moved to Bath. And yeah, they are a bookshop and a publisher. So they print mostly out of print women's literature of the 20th century. So there's various different ones. I saw, like, you know, you get from the early 1900s. And there was even one from like 1980. I just assumed that it was just that early section, but yeah, you do get them a little bit later on as well. And yeah, I loved how they had little cards, like giving you little insights to some of them of what they're about. So yeah, I picked up one that I thought I liked the sound of. I liked the little card, what it said. So this is The Blank Wall by Elizabeth Sanex Holding. I love, yeah, all their books, they do them in this grey cover. It's very understated, but the insides have, oh yeah, that's great. So you get a matching bookmark to match the inside, so the insides are done really nice. And the bookmark has a little thing on it to explain what the book's about. I remember it saying that it was like a thriller, which I was like, oh, I love thrillers, so I'm gonna like pick that up. So this is, so, my name is Donnelly, he said. Yes, said Lucia evenly. Maybe it's nothing she told herself. Maybe it's just about the insurance or selling war bonds or something ordinary. I'd like a few words with you, he said, and jerked his head towards the open door behind her. Well, what about? She asked, with an attempt at defiance. He reached past her and closed the door. You'll be wanting these letters, he said. What letters? They are standing close to each other, facing each other. She looked up at him, still attempting that defiance, and he looked at her absently. The letters your daughter wrote to Ted Darby, he said. The price is $5,000. Cash. That's a great like little last line on there. But yes, I remember on the the little card it said that it was like a thriller, so to do with like a mother and daughter. So yeah, it's obviously something's gone on. I don't know, something's gone on obviously with these letters, and yeah, the mother's got to help, and it just sounded really nice and lovely. And it doesn't say the year on here, but I'm sure that it was like, I think it was like around the 1940s or so, round about then. But yeah, I'm really looking forward because I've never read any of their classic books before, and yeah, I think this will be a really nice thing to explore. Yeah, ones that were like lost before and now they're reprinting them, so that's really nice. And it's number 42 of theirs. And yeah, if you've read any of their books, let me know if you have any recommendations. But yeah, I just love the understated greys and that the inside has that lovely design. Then I went to Toppings, which was just along the road from Persephone's Books, and again, it was like really awkward to try and film in there, because they're known for like having like ladders. It's quite narrow, and there's a few little alcoves, and they have ladders, and like there was quite a few people in there, and it's a little bit awkward to try and film there. I'm not gonna lie, I can't even remember, because like I said, this is a few days later now. I might have got some footage on my phone, but I don't think it's great to really show off how lovely that bookshop is. But yeah, another great one. And what I bought there is, I'm gonna have to put on this side, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe. Now this is the sequel. I don't know if you can see, but I have the first one up here on my shelves. I read it last summer and I loved it. This one, I think they finally released it like September, October last year. It was translated from Japanese. I think there's a third one, but it hasn't been translated yet. I'll need to check. And I love this. Like, I'm so happy to see the sequel and see what it's about. So the premise of this is that there is this cafe in Japan, and it is, I want to say, is it Tokyo? Yeah, Tokyo. I don't want to just say that without double checking. It's a cafe in Tokyo, and you can time travel, but there's like a few things to that. So you you have to sit in a specific seat, and yeah, I mean, there's a few different bits and pieces. I don't want to say too much about how it all works, but yeah, you can go back in time. However, it has to be in the cafe itself, and you can only go back and see someone who has been to the cafe. But the thing is, you have to return back to the present time before your cup of coffee gets cold. And then the first one, like, it was like 4 little stories you got. So you got told throughout how it all works, obviously, but you had 4 separate stories of people traveling back, traveling in time, basically. And yes, some of them really touched my heart. Like, yeah, it's such a lovely story. You can see people's different reasons for traveling, and it's just, yeah, it's great. So I assume that this one's going to be the same and have like 4 different stories. They're not very long novels. I think the other one was about 200, and yeah, this is just under 200 pages again. And yeah, I can't wait to get into this. I really can't. And yes, if you haven't picked it up, honestly, translated fiction is great, and that is one I definitely recommend. And the last one, I went into Waterstones. I had a little bit of time. I didn't have any time to go into any charity shops because I wanted to have a little look around and see if I could find any good deals, but they were closing, which is why I ended up in Waterstones because it was open later. And I ended up picking Cujo, and this is from the new printing that Hodder are doing of Stephen King's collection, because the old ones, I have one, I think you can see it, yeah, The Shining. They did like how people are trying to like collect them all, and because like rainbow spines, etc. So they did another like colourful reprint, and Cujo is, yeah, it's one of the ones I want to read because I am working my way through his backlist. I kind of want to see, I read quite a few of his older ones. I've only read one new-ish one, and that was The Institute, which I enjoyed. But yeah, I want to get through Old King and then see New King. And yes, this is on the Rory Gilmore list. So I've mentioned this before, but if you've not seen those videos, I set myself at the start of the year a challenge to read 20 books from the Rory Gilmore challenge list. I'm not doing great on it, I'm not gonna lie. I also said I was gonna try and read 5 Kings this year, and I have read 3 so far, so that's going well. So this book would kill two birds with one stone, and yeah, you know, classic King. And I know it's about a dog that is like rabid or something, and like people are trapped in the car. That's kind of all I know about it. I quite like going into King books a bit blind and not knowing too much, and just kind of enjoying the story. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's it. I got 4 lovely little books. I hope you enjoyed this come book shopping with me. And yeah, let me know if you've been book shopping in Bath before. If you have any recommendation of other places to check out there. And yeah, if you've read any of these books, please let me know. And yeah, if you've read any Persephone classics, yeah, let me know if there's any that you really loved. So yeah, thank you very much for checking out my channel. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!